Hi, everybody. Welcome to another Chats with Children. I hope you're safe and well. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by my good friend, Louis Hendricks, who is the CEO and founder of Global Value Web. And you may remember I did an interview with Louis earlier in the year in February, where we talked about the global value chain. So today, we're going to be talking about why operational talent will make intelligent automation successful. So it sounds quite a highfalutin title there. So, Louis, how are you, my friend? Lovely to see you.
Yeah. Well, Wisson, likewise, very good to see you. I'm doing very well. I still do very well because I just got my second shot, right?
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Well, hopefully people, as I was saying to Lou before we start the call, if he starts breaking out a sweat, we might have to stop, but hopefully he won't do that and we'll be perfectly fine for the whole interview.
So far, so good. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I'm glad to hear it. So, right, let me ask you one other question, because everybody wondering now which jab you had, but you've said that now. So what jab did you have, Louis?
I had to take the Moderna.
Right. Okay, cool. Well, I've had 2 jabs of the AstraZeneca, so you're better off than me purely because I think more people are accepting the Moderna one in terms of traveling currently as opposed to the AstraZeneca one. But hopefully we'll all be okay and everyone will get vaccinated as soon as possible.
I'm curious when we will meet really face to face again.
I look forward to it. And we won't talk about the Euros, Louis, because obviously the Netherlands are out and England are still progressing. So we won't talk about it.
He's still wearing orange, so
Good. All right. So before we start talking about the operational talent impacting intelligent automation, perhaps for those who didn't get to see the video in February, and the link for that, by the way, will be above the video as well. Could you give people a quick overview of global value chain and also your background?
Yeah. So global value web, as we always say, I believe we are a company that keeps itself busy with improving, let's say, the globally extended value chain, the value network, value web of our clients. And where I come from, etc., is really any company should be focused on its customers. And for life science, it happens to be patients. And life science is where I have been busy for the last 15 years. Ever since I started Global Value Web, it has been life sciences from the get-go.
Right.
And dabbled a little bit in the energy part, still active there. In the years before my previous career, much more energy and such, but now life sciences. And it's a very interesting environment. It's very complex. Lots of technologies, too much money floating around. That's why things are not efficient when there's too much money. So it's a great environment to improve the collaboration, if you will, because efficiency, effectiveness, resilience, sustainability, agility, adaptability, those are things that still have to arrive in the value chains, the value networks of the life sciences industry. And that's where we help. And how do we help? It's through the people. And that was our previous conversation. It's the people on the floor that truly need to understand the domain knowledge very well, that can actually extend we start in life sciences actually supporting the quality control labs.
Right.
There's a lot of data that goes in, through, and out of those. And that's where you notice that the people that work within that environment traditionally are really very much focused on the lab and on the quality of the products that they are handling, etc. But you really have to look out for how products reach their patients and how you, as an organization, can efficiently deliver that right quality there. So I believe it has a lot to do with the data and how it's organized. And I believe the people that truly handle the data, the people on the shop floor, as I say, they know best. So after my Capgemini days, that was my previous employer, so to speak, and that was a very interesting environment in those days. It's the same thing. You have to pull the people in that know. So now I pull those people that know, I pull them into Global Value Web, if you will. So we have a lot of domain expertise in various steps of the value chain. And we've been expanding that. So I'm trying to fulfill services, whether it's business professionals or whether it's science professionals, to really work with the data that flows through the value chain of life sciences. All those stovepipe research, development, and operations, they don't really work together. They are learning to work together.
Sure.
And then, they work maybe then together in their own network, but they have so many partners that they also have to work with. In operations, a lot of contract manufacturers, in research and development, a lot of CROs and what have you. And it's first the people thing, having the right people in the organization to work on that. That is the talent that comes first, and after that is the data.
Right. Okay. So let's talk about intelligent automation.
Right.
So what do you mean by intelligent automation?
Well, first off, it's a tool to begin with, and then there's the other challenge, semantics and such. What do I mean by it, and what do other people mean by it? I was reading this McKinsey report, and they talk about intelligent process automation, IPA. Now that's a good term because I do like IPAs, especially the more hoppy ones as such. But where does it come from? It's a term that has come about, and people that I work with, our technology value partners, they also coach me a little bit because I'm a person who sits on the cusp of what our clients needs, and I bring them the people, the data, the process, and the technology. But we don't make the technology ourselves. I purposely find companies that are the best at that, as such, and I want to talk about that today. Those are our technology value partners that bring distinctive technologies. And it's in this domain of intelligent automation where that is all coming up now. So and I'm going to use terminology like RPA and digibots and those type of things. Robotic process automation is RPA, what it stands for. And now it stands, according to McKinsey, for intelligent process automation. Okay, fine. I think intelligent automation is the automation that helps the professional that we have in our organization to do the routine jobs through automation.
Right.
And that we use the brain more to do the more complex things, etc. And that we can take the routine tasks into, is it RPA? Is it the digibots? Those are the technologies that are being used to put it together. McKinsey also talks about workflow. Yeah, I think that's a part of it, and there's definitely we talk about machine learning and the NLP type of things. I think that's all coming about. It's a tool set, and you need to be able to work with the appropriate tool set, and that is what I want our talent to be able to do, together with the talent of the client, by the way, because you never can do it in a closed environment. We are not in the business of, it used to be called business process outsourcing, but it's really business process collaboration. Our talent works very closely with the talent of the customer. And when you work in a quality control lab, it's really primary process of our clients. It's in the GMP environment and all of that. So it's highly regulated. Everything that goes through that also has to be validated, etc. So there are a lot of challenges in bringing intelligent automation into that domain. And those are the challenges that we would like to help tackle.
Right. Okay. So what do you mean by operational talent?
Those are the people that truly know what's going on the floor. So in the quality lab, it's people that have the pharmaceutical experience, the laboratory experience, that know about pharmaceutical products. They know about APIs, excipients, raw materials, recycled raw materials, all of those things, and how you stir it together and it becomes a drug product, and how you measure that for quality. It's people that need to have that domain knowledge, and that is what the operational talent, for example, on the laboratory floor can be. And our people have basically the same profile as the people in the laboratories of our clients. And that's also why you can work so well with them. And when you work with that type of data day in, day out, you become the professional. When you work with specifications day in, day out, sample plans, worksheets, everything that flows with that, you become the experts on that. And I think that's what over almost 14 years in the making now. Yeah, 14 years in the making. And some people have been that long with us. You know, we really got those professionals in that part of the value chain. We're now also getting in the so end-to-end quality. We are now also in the manufacturing enabling. We're also in the end-to-end planning enabling. So on the operational side, we do end-to-end planning, manufacturing, and end-to-end quality. Putting more professionals in that have that background in manufacturing for life science drug products, and also for the planning in that. And then you see the commonalities and the relationships and the connections that surface. All those functions have to work together.
Right. Okay.
That is what we make happen also for our clients.
Right. So then, I mean, I think you've already partly answered this anyway. So how can operational talent make intelligent automation successful then?
Yeah. Because intelligent automation cannot make itself successful. There are great technologies out there, and those tools, you have to apply them in real life. And you have to work with the data. You have to start small scale. I think there are also in other industries, there's a lot of initiatives where the message comes from IT or other departments and say, this is how we did it, and now we're going to go something completely new. So we're going to develop all of that. We're going to use those RPA and the workflows and other advanced technologies, and we're going to plug that in our environment. And we're not really listening to the people that are on the floor, and we're not really involving them into this type of transformation. And I think that is why digital transformation isn't going as fast as what companies are hoping for. Because in my professional experience, throughout, also in my Capgemini days, I get the best results when I work with the people that are on the floor, because they know better.
Sure.
So we have to pull them into these initiatives. So you pull those in, pull the people from the client in, and then pull the people, the companies that we work with that bring such advanced technologies to the table.
Sure. I mean, but having said that, I mean, I do think, I mean, I know you're saying digital transformation hasn't gone as fast as maybe people would like it internally within organizations. I do think, though, and you feel free to disagree, but I think because of the pandemic, you have seen greater collaboration than before, and people have been more willing to collaborate through necessity, if nothing else, because of the timescales involved in people to try and find, for example, the vaccines for the virus and so on. So I think if you look at where we were pre-pandemic to now, things have moved along a lot quicker and a lot better than they were prior pandemic. Or would you disagree with that?
Why is that?
Through necessity, though, isn't it? I mean, people have had to do it, haven't they?
Because people like you and I are now talking between the UK and the Netherlands. That's how now suddenly people are communicating this way, looking each other in the eye, and are actually communicating about the topic. You know, previously you had several people in a room, and you had these formal meetings, and you tried to get things sorted out in an hour or so. It just doesn't work like that. You need to have a true deep understanding. And
sure.
Deep understanding is built up in an operational relationship. And that's the value that's hidden in there that you want to use to further collaborate. And now we have all these much further advanced technologies. We work a lot with Teams, but it doesn't matter whether it's Zoom or Teams or whatever.
Whatever it is, sure.
It is. It is amazing how that has jumped forward, right, in 8 months' time. I think in my teams, I'm now connected to several organizations. I think the Odyssey, Real World Data, Real World Evidence, they have moved to Teams. I've got some of our partners who have moved to Teams, and then they invite us into that. So it's very collaborative environments as such. So what happens then? You create the virtual environment where people, again, people, right?
Sure.
work together first. I think that is what you observe. I don't think that the underlying data flows as it should be flowing. So that part of the digital transformation, where everybody is still trying to stuff things into the cloud, where we're working on the data pipes and all of that, where we have all these data lakes floating around and data is everywhere and is properly connected. No, it is not. That is only the talk of today. And we are participating in the talk of the day. We are helping to make those small nitty-gritty things that also go into that architecture and all of that. But it's a stepstone approach, and we help to make stepwise improvements in the quality domain, in the manufacturing domain, in the planning domain. And I'm also moving, as you know, I also told that last time, I think, we do a lot of work for pharmaceutical development.
Sure.
We do pharmacopoeia monitoring and what have you, and that impacts all the changes in operations. And we moved in material science as a service as such. So we have now a material science team. Regulatory writing, we are now also building up. So it's more data across that value chain that we are working on. And that's the thing, because that data across those stovepipes, now I serve many stovepipes. So I got all those stovepipes, I got the operation knowledge. Now I can also tie it together. The only thing I additionally need is because our clients know, and that's the drive for the intelligent automation, is the transformation that's going to happen additionally in the life sciences industry. Just looking at the patient side, right? It's all the discussion about the genome and let's say diagnostics, companion diagnostics, etc. So we understand so much more of the patient, and understanding so much more of the patient, there will also be knowledge about when to bring a certain drug product to a patient.
Sure.
By that time, you can increase, the patient outcome success from 50% to 80%, for example. But that also means that with the other develops like CAR-T and CRISPR and what have you, nanotechnology, etc. There's a whole new slew of medicines coming to the patients as well. So we get many more, let's say, patient-product combinations than ever before. So in the previous decade, it was traditional. Drugs for the masses, it's fine. That pill is good for you. The coming decade, we've got way more drug products for specific therapeutic groups as such. So we got an explosion of product market combinations, product client, product patient combinations, what it is today to what it is tomorrow. That will bring an explosion of laboratory master data, all kinds of master data flowing through the value chain. So if we keep doing it the way we are doing it today, we will hit a brick wall very soon, very hard. So that's where intelligent automation comes into play. And the scarcity of talent requires us to work with it, intelligent automation, and bring what we already do today, and bring those routine tasks in that technology, and let our talent then focus on advancing that further and further. I best can probably relate that to master data elements, and that's a very technical thing in the lab, but a specification, if you put it up in those laboratory systems, it breaks down in master data elements, whether it's technology, laboratory platform, this brand, that brand, that brand, or that brand. I'm not naming the brands, but it's all the big ones and the smaller ones. And it's simply that a lab person has to be able to cope with a double, triple, quadruple volume of master data elements in the near future. So dealing with this explosion of data. And this is not from today or tomorrow, but that is why within Global Value Web, I always consciously have been looking out for partners that can do. We've got several, but I think purely in the intelligent automation part, I found a few UK companies, and it came actually to a presentation that the gentleman Akil Attar gave in our network of Connect Ones. You know, I'm a member of various industry bodies.
Sure.
And Connect Ones is an industry body where we talk about interoperability standards and how you can drive those in certain industries. And I think energy industry is quite ahead. And that's also where I met Akil years ago in Amsterdam. And he spoke about artificial intelligence and what they have done in the past in the UK. And he also brings people with 2 feet back to the ground, which is very important. What steps you can truly make. And this is through the company Expertpool. That's his company, and they have developed if you will, cognitive intelligence platform. They call it Viable AI. Which we now have a partnership with to develop something like that would work in a quality control lab. And I can only make that work when I have the talent that knows how to do that, so knows the data. And Akil and team, and they know the product very well. Bring that into a proof of value, then we can actually demonstrate on how that can come to life in a quality environment, later on also in the planning environment, probably in the manufacturing environment, and we can implement various of those bots. Now, to truly make that work, you know, it's not only that tool. There's also RPA as such, which is big, and our clients are doing the same. So especially Blue Prism and the UiPath are key players within that. So we partnered with another company that is Ubiquity, and that is the CEO, Tom Davies, is a good contact of mine, and I actually met him through Expertpool because he moved from Expertpool to Ubiquity, and he's a great conceptualizer of how the organization of tomorrow looks like. So it's the right balance of the talent, the bots, working on the systems. I think that's a very nice approach. So we are now working with our clients on proof of values, if you will, to make that work for them, so that we can.
Brilliant. Okay, so I'm just thinking, I know we're sort of running out of time. So where, I mean, thanks for that. There's a lot of sort of interesting thoughts you've raised there and discussion points. Where can people get more information about Global Value Web and also different solutions that you're talking about?
First of all, on our website, and our partners can also be found there, and simply is by reaching out. I'm sure in your video you can usually put the contact details.
Yep, always, Louis, always.
It's actually very interesting right now, this one, I have to say, because we've been doing this for a long time, this laboratory master data and all kinds of industry master data. And not only master data, we also do all kinds of transactions to truly process things like plans or tests and what have you. I see now, currently, right now, I see a wave of that similar efforts going about in India. Where I see that the Indian life sciences industry is investing in laboratory systems and what have you. So they buy the systems, and now what? And it's very important because those are the collaborators, the partners, the business partners for Big Pharma. So it's the next frontier that is now happening. The work that we do for Big Pharma, we should also be doing for their CMOs and the CROs. So that when they invest so much money in those systems, that they need our help to make it successful, to make their people successful. Because in life sciences, you want to create an open, transparent environment where people can contribute and really drive the quality up higher. And that is possible when people realize that they should not be focused on the system. They shouldn't even be focused on the data. They should be focusing on how to get that drug product to patient.
Perfect.
that is where also we can step in there. And I think that's a big message that I also would like to voice here, especially to the aspiring CMOs in India first, and also the companies that really develop drug products for the global markets as such. You know, if you want to prove your product to the EMA, the MHRA, and the FDA, etc., the data has to be top notch, right?
Perfect.
With the advanced technologies that come in, you need to have that little bit of GVW services in there, that data focused, and also make their part of the value chain work efficiently. And so again, it's not just people. It's people, data, process, and technology. And that technology, for now, on the short term, it's intelligent automation, which is really coming around the corner very fast. Digibots, RPA, but also other type of analytical platforms that we work in.
Perfect. Well, look, I think that's a good way to conclude, actually. So, thank you very much for the time taking the time out to talk to me about this today. Viewers, if you'd like to know more about what Lou's talked about, the intelligent automation, digital transformation, global value chain, all the different aspects that he's discussed during this interview, then feel free to, one, check out the website, which will be above the video, but two, as Louis said quite rightly, you can get in touch with him via LinkedIn. Just send him a message and he'll be happy to respond, or if you've got any questions, you can put them below the video or in the comment section. So Louis, all that's done, we say thank you very much, my friend. It's lovely to see you again. It's good to see that I've in the last 20 minutes or so, there's been no after effects of the vaccine, so you're still looking good and alert, so that's all good.
I'll let you know tomorrow if anything happens, but I trust it will be good.
No, it was fantastic. It was lovely to see you again. Viewers, as I said, I hope you found that useful. Please check out the links above. Get in touch with Louis directly. And all that's left to say is, Louis, viewers, lovely to see you all. Until next time, as always, stay well and stay safe. Bye-bye.
Hey, thank you, Alison. Bye-bye.